Good morning. It is July 6th, and hopefully you took our warning yesterday. If you remember, we were talking about how the doomsday dozen on Longbow dashboard was flagging that it's time to put on some protection. So hopefully you're following that. We talked about the arrows today, that the Fed minutes showed that some didn't want to pause in June, and a large majority of the members were on board for more tightening. So when the US job market data came out today, it's definitely going to force some of those pause people over into the hiking line, especially in July, and probably more than expected. And that's why the market's down today. Private hiring surged, layoffs slowed, filings for unemployment benefits remain muted. And US companies added almost 500,000 jobs last month, the most in over a year per ADP. And continuing claims, so people getting benefits, fell to the lowest figure since February. So it's no surprise that stocks are down, treasury yields are up today, so treasuries are down, and people are taking some risk off the table. Also, we talked in the Longbow arrows a little bit about from tailwind to headwind. There's a good piece out by JP Morgan talking about equity market flows and liquidity. And the punchline is that the positive equity setup that we had in the beginning of 2023 isn't here any longer. I'll let you read the details on that, but it just shows you, if we head over to the dashboard now, and show you the doomsday dozen. If you remember, it was back at like 99, right? And so any little item can be like setting that tinderbox off. And that's what we see today is like, a few pieces of information then has people taking risk off the table. And that's why you're having a big reaction here in the equity markets, not just in the US, but overseas as well. And that's what happens. So when you're at extreme greed, you need to be more cautious than everybody else because they're not being cautious. So imagine if you're driving around the road, like if everybody's driving crazy, you need to be a little bit more careful. So when people are at extreme fear, which we're not at, like down here in September 2022, you can put that risk on the table, but now's not the time. But again, today's not the time then to freak out either because everyone else is freaking out. So you need to be proactive, watching the technicals. We're going to navigate it with you and for you through the Longbow dashboard. But stay tuned for tomorrow because every day is a fun game here in the day of the equity markets globally. And we'll keep you up to date on what we're seeing so you can plan ahead.